All right. All right. All right. Let me see if I can. There we go. Hold on. We got it. All right. Here we go. Thank you so much for coming and welcome in. And let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Got to psych myself up this morning. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Let me see if I can find myself here. There we go. And it's the I Bring It Every Day show. Okay. So here we go. Thanks for coming, everybody. I saw some peeps. Got some people. All right now. Yes. Had to make a little adjustment. Oh my gosh. Welcome in. Oh my gosh. You learned by Robert. Oh my gosh. Suzanne, happy Monday. Buddha of Destiny, namaste. Thank you. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? What else? TWP Popcorn? What's popping? Hello. Okay. Thank you so much for coming in. Woo, this is amazing. All right now. Okay, I think I got myself together. This is hard. Trying to I'm doing multiple devices and multiple situations. So here it goes. So this is actually, let me start from the beginning. This channel is I Bring It Every Day. And my name is Kelly. And a few months, actually it's almost been a year now, I started this Motivation Monday to sort of let me see, I'll pull this down a little bit. To sort of get us all excited about starting the week. And, sometimes Mondays can be a little tough for a lot of people, especially if you work outside of the home. And okay. Oh, sorry. Hang on just a second. I see Spring. Good to see you. And so the whole thing is getting started on the week is tough because, you hopefully if you're a somewhat religious person, you do a little resting on Sunday. But I know Spring doesn't do that because she has to work. But for the people that tend to rest on Sunday, then you got to start Monday with gangbusters. You know what I mean? You got to get out there and keep going. So I started this Motivation Monday just to sort of get my mind right and to get started on a positive note because I was feeling like there was not a lot of positive stuff on YouTube or social media. So we'll see how this goes. All right. So anyway, every week we've been talking about, I like to talk about quotes from famous people and just to sort of put in perspective, what they had to go through to get to where they're going. Yes. Oh, hashtag VOM. Hello. Good to see you. And I'll put you all on the screen in just a second. But I just want to start out and give you the first quote. So today is October 7th, 2024. We're crashing through this year already. Now, this is very interesting. So in the past, we've talked about you have a dream, you have a place you want to get to, you have to make a plan, and then you take the steps, and then you have to do the work. You have to figure out the steps to the plan to get to where you want to get to, and then actually complete those steps. And then along the way, you reevaluate where you want to, if you need to alter your course or pivot or do things like that. But the key thing is that you have to plan a little bit. You don't have to be exact, but you just need to plan. But here's a quote from George Patton, and he was the general, right? World War II. So he said, a good plan. Now, this is a little bit, a little bit extra, but here it goes. A good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan executed next week. So I'm going to read that one more time. Okay, in the background. Thank you. Hashtag VOM. So once again, a good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan executed next week. So the deal is, and this is the other thing I've been really talking about, and I want to just speak a little bit on this just for a few moments, not to bring the room down, but here it goes. A while back, I met up with my high school friends. I hadn't seen them in at least 10, 15 years. And we hung out in a lake house and we were chilling and just talking about life and what we went through when we were growing up and things like that. And these are people that, they lived in my neighborhood. We went from kindergarten all the way up. And I even knew them even before kindergarten, some of them. So it's crazy, right? Anywho, these people, I hung out with them for a weekend and we were just talking about how, like there's people are going through different things in life and health things like that. One of our friends is going through a pretty serious health issue right now. And we were just like, oh man, this is crazy, you know. But anywho, and then you know, like there's been health and then there's been deaths and things like that. And so I don't know if you've noticed, but this past week there's been a lot of passings, like public passings, you know, you know, in history and things like that. And you know, every time you see these deaths, you know, you sort of take a pause and you say, "Wow, you know, they're gone." And that's it, you know. So the bottom line is, after that little get together with my friends, I was saying to myself, you're better off, you know, if there's anything that you want to do on your bucket list, I'm going to say this again. If there's anything you want to do on your bucket list, you have to do it now. And that George Patton quote sort of speaks to that. Yeah. So I'll read it one more time. I see some people coming in. Hey, Roberta. And I see Miss Gloria. Good to see you. Yes. And he says, a good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan executed next week. So, and that being said, there's been so many passings this week. You know, close people, there's been like a lot of health issues. You know, people are just going through it. And it, you know, it really gives you pause, because you have to realize you have to be grateful for what you have, where you are. You know, everything in life is a process, and there's always these peaks and valleys. And so I just always want to just throw that out there. You know, I'm reiterating that if there's anything you want to do it now. And so George Patton is kind of backing me up on that one. Okay. All right. And this is one I talked about before. This is another one. This is from Eleanor Roosevelt. And then she says, with the new day comes new strengths and new thoughts. So it's Monday. It's the start of a new day. So remember, you get a chance every day, if the good Lord calls you back, to try again, you know, to be better, to do the best that you can, to be better. And so hopefully that's what everybody's sort of thinking about. But like I said, in light of, you know, a lot of these deaths and deaths of people, of friends of mine around me, you know, you have to realize, if you love people, you got to tell them. You know, if you need to, you know, hash out those you know, problems that you have when you're button heads, you got to do it. You got to do it now. And the bottom line is, it's not worth carrying, you know, those grudges and things like that. Because every moment, and I forget who said this, it was a quote on one of my previous streams. Every moment that you spend being angry is a moment that you give up being happy or content. So I'll have to look that one up, but there it is. Bam. So that's been kind of on my heart these last couple of days. And I'm going to check out the chat and take a pause. And let's see. So we got a lot of people. Oh my gosh. So, okay. So Buddha, I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to starting from the bottom. Now we're here. Okay. So Buddha's saying, have faith and walk by faith, not by sight. You all be grateful more each day, for what you see is pure reality, and all you will see many more. So take moments of silence and remember what you hear. Don't walk and live. Okay. Yeah, so that's very true. So once again, you know, don't live in fear. Okay. There we go. Thank you, Buddha. That's very good. And the thing is, and I don't know if you believe in the good and evil, but you know, the enemy definitely wants a lot of us to live in fear. And this is something, you know, if you look in the news, it's been really brutal. Like, there's just been so much bad news, so many bad vibes. You know, people are being really divided right now. And you know, you have to be silent and be grateful for what you have. And you know, there's just no room for all this hate. And I'm going to maintain that. I'm going to stick by it. And you know, give me a thumbs up if you think the same. Yes. Yes. Remember why you're here. Yes. And so, and a lot of that is too. There we go. I'm going to put that there, Buddha. Remember why you're here. Yeah. I mean, we're here for a purpose. I'm still finding mine. I'll be honest. But you know, a lot of people know immediately when they're very young what they're here for. I never had that situation. But anyway, Butter Roll Boutique, hello, and Motivational Monday to you, Kelly. Thank you so much. We've got Miss Gloria. I see you here. Thank you so much. And let's see, not the end. It's not, no, it's not magic. Sorry. Oh, God, I keep doing that. It's not magic, Roberta. Hey. She said, good morning, Kelly, and all the knots. I know it's like, and then, let's see. And then, hashtag Vom is saying very powerful. Thank you. And let's see, Gloria's here. We said hi. Yes. And then Miss hashtag Vom is in the background. We got Miss Spring. Hello. She's probably running with the horses somewhere. Good to see you. She's saying, good morning, Kelly and Chatters. Thank you so much. You learn with Robert. Hello. I think I said hello, but I just want to make sure I say hi to everybody. And where is Suzanne? Happy Monday. Uh-oh. Sorry, fat fingering. Happy Monday. There we go. And then we got Miss Buddha. We said, hey. And TWP Popcorn. All right. So he blew in and said hello. All right now. Oh, we got some people on Instagram. Hello. Okay. Wolfpack Master. Hello. Brian Lynn. Hello. Hey. Where's my, yeah, he gave me the purple. He always drops me the purple poop or the, thank you so much for the purple poop, Brian. And Angela Young joined. Thank you so much. All right now. And he shared it out. Okay. Thank you. All right. So welcome in, y'all, over there. So doing some multitasking. I think I need a person, you know. Yeah, Mr. I Bring It is doing some work upstairs. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing his thing. So anyway, that's where we are. So those are the two things that have been on my heart this week. And it's been really, like I said, this has been like a very reflectful week for me. You know, there's just been a lot going on, you know. So, Buddha's having, she's walking. Let's see. She said, I'm a walk, Destiny. She's barking, be in the background. You're going to get ginger tea. Yeah, for the allergies. Ah, nice. I do not have a doggy. I always kind of wish I had a dog. Okay. So that's a little bit of Motivation Monday. Now, the thing that I wanted to talk about today, and this is like I completely went off topic, but I'll give you one more. This is the other one. I did write this one down, and I'll put one of these in the chat somewhere if I can get there. But this one is from H.G. Wells. So if you fell down yesterday, stand up today. If you fell down yesterday, stand up today. H.G. Wells. All right. So one of the things I started talking about this a couple of weeks ago in the live stream, and I can't believe I forgot to. Yes, thank you. Hashtag mom. Yes, I wanted to talk a little bit about Walt Disney because I finally I don't want to pull this up because I don't have the copy. It's sort of a copyright thing, but I'm going to read you this thing that I found on biography.com. Yes. Aw. Let's see. Hold on. Buddha said, LOL. Yes, she's in my heart. Oh my, it's pouring rain. Shoot, you can't walk her. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, Florida. So tell us if you don't mind, Buddha. I know you're typing. You don't have time to type, but be safe down there. That storm, I forgot that was coming through. And Roberta, it's not magic. Let us know if you guys are okay. She's a little bit north of that, but that storm, I know it gets all people like all messed up. Yes. 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 And hashtag Vom saying happy Monday, everyone. She's in the background. Okay. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the chat of those couple of quotes. Those are interesting, right? Well, hashtag Vom, let me know. But that was very, very interesting. That those quotes just kind of hit me, just like I said, in light of all this stuff, and maybe because I'm of a certain age, after you pass 30, past 30, 40, it's, stuff starts happening. So it's really, really crazy, how life is, so you start seeing a lot of these passings and stuff. Yes. Oh, Buddha's on Miami Beach, girl. Oh, grew up on water. Those were great quotes. Thank you. All right. East Miami Beach. Oh, that's amazing. I've only been there like once or twice, but it's nice. Okay. Good morning, Kenneth Wilkinson. Good to see you. And thanks for coming in. And oh, we got a new person over on Instagram. Oh, your fave. Okay, Buddha's saying her fave is silence is my virtue. Oh boy. Yes. We talked about that before. I love that one. And I like that one because sometimes you have to be silent. Even when you don't want to be. Yeah. And I've learned that the hard way and the easy way. But mostly the easy way because I'm not usually I'm not this chatty. Yes. Let's see. We have okay. J2 the street artist. Hello. Thank you so much for joining the live. All right, let me see if I can find this Walt Disney thing. Okay, here it is. I'll put this here. I'm gonna go a new tab here. But yeah, this is crazy. Now check this out. So anyway, I mentioned a few weeks ago that Walt Disney had been through it, right? Now, Disney is one of the, most admired corporations. I don't know if I used to admire Disney. I'm not as in love with Disney. So just to give you a little bit of background, my father was a Disney fanatic, and I meet these people all the time. You know what I mean? In life and everything. And he was so what's the word? He was so enamored of Disney, and so as a result, the good thing was we went to Disney a lot. And when I say a lot, we went a lot, like more than most normal people. And so and then I married a Disney fanatic, and so all the movies, all the things, we didn't get a chance to do the parks as much, but um, we we did a lot of Disney. Okay, and because I guess in my early life, I thought about being an artist, not necessarily an animator, but I thought about doing art for a living. But then I kind of ran from that because I didn't want to do that fight, be the starving artist. But a lot of people, let me see if I can. There we go. Walt Disney. So anyway, I found this thing on biography, and it was really interesting. So anyway, so because my father was so into Walt Disney, I sort of was reading about Walt Disney and reading biographies. And like I said, I always used to read biographies on famous people, and I would always say, let's see what their life is all about. Now, the interesting thing is when you read these biographies, they don't always they clean them up a little bit too much. So you don't really see the struggle. Because I think that when you see a successful person, you got to realize some people it comes easy, but for a lot of people, there's a lot of work and background stuff. And then a lot of times they don't tell you the truth about what they really went through in these biographies. They're very, very cleaned up, right? So this particular article, and this was from biography, I guess it's a network. No, it's not a network. It's a TV show, or their documentary series, biography. And they talked about Walt Disney and the number of times he failed before. And I had mentioned that I got the dates wrong, but basically, he really didn't become successful until he was pretty old. And the other one I can give you another example of is Colonel Sanders. This one I know for sure. Colonel Sanders did not do the Kentucky Fried Chicken until he was 65 years old. And that's when that business took off. So he was 65 years old. I think he died. Now, don't quote me, but he was close to 100, or maybe he was 100. He was up there when he passed, but he did not become successful until he was 65 years old. And that I do know. And I just went, oh my gosh, like his story is crazy too. Yeah. So, oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, okay. Roberta's gonna watch the replay. Yeah, for what you missed. Oh, yeah, it's interesting. And then everyone's saying hi. And then, oh yeah, I love Disney when Walt was around. After the kids took over, it got weird. Yeah. So the thing is, Disney was interesting, but the only thing is, he. How can I say this? Oh my gosh, he really. I think those movies and this is just a little bit of anyway, the movies were great. They were supposed to be family, oriented. And we'll just stick with that. But but if you kind of do a little more research, they maybe weren't so family friendly. But the idea of it was he wanted a family, a place where families could gather and have fun and whatever. And he actually had an apartment in Disneyland, which I haven't seen the apartment, but I know, like, they show you where it was. And he builds it inside of the, all the rides and stuff. And you almost could miss it because it's almost missable. Like, you could walk right by it and not even know what it was. But but I think, he used to go out there and meet the people, which I thought was pretty cool. And he gave away a lot of animation cells. And that's what really got me, kind of interested. Well, not completely in art, but like that kind of got me interested in art, is just finding out that he did a lot of these this animation was all done by hand. You know what I mean? It was all done by hand. And yeah, and and then, he hired artists, and it was all done by hand. Now it's done by computer. But the fact that, like, Snow White was all done by hand, if you look at that movie, that was like his first successful movie, was Snow White. Oh, here it is. Okay. Sorry about that. Little bit of a thing. So I'm not going to put this on the screen, but yes. But it did get weird. And then also, when that, I want to say, like, the 80s, like when Michael Eisner, I shouldn't say his name, but, well, that guy, when he was the CEO, they sold out all the movies. And so I felt like they kind of just went for the money. Like, it was just money, 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 money. And then the cost of Disney is very expensive. And that's my only little criticism of what it was. Yeah. So let's see. And then Roberta said, I think the last taste around Hercules. Yeah, you lost taste for that. Oh, yeah. And Walmart. Oh, that's what Roberta's saying. Same for Walmart. It got way beyond his vision after his death. Yep. Oh, okay. And then let's see. Buddha's saying Disney ticked me off when Frozen 2 was coming out. And they were gonna make Elsa like, oh, okay, like women. Ooh. Oh boy. So yeah, it's interesting. Right. Yeah, and see, that's the kind of stuff that's in entertainment that's a little bit tricky. Because there's definitely agendas being pushed, and one of them is kind of the I hate to say LGBTQ, but that agenda is definitely out there. You know what I mean? But anyway, here's the Walt Disney story, and let me tell you, we'll talk a little bit more about this. So this is according to biography.com, and they said, so he's known as an extraordinarily successful creative, as an animator, filmmaker, theme park developer, right? And he had that, had a huge influence on 20th century entertainment and things like that. But here's the story. So number one, he had a very difficult relationship with his father. And his father was let's see, how do you say this? Let's see. His father was very domineering physically and mentally. Okay, we'll just put it that way. And according to this biography.com, all of his siblings left the house early to get away from the father. And he did too. And he actually lied about his age and entered World War I to get away. So that's crazy, right? Okay. And apparently his father had trouble supporting the family financially. So there was a lot going on there, right? Okay. So anyway, he was born in Chicago, and then they moved to Missouri. And Missouri is kind of that Main Street idea that you see in Disneyland and Disney World, which is cool. And I remember going there, like, on a school trip with people who had never been there, and they were just like, "Wow, this Main Street is crazy." Right. Pretty cool the way he sort of recreated his hometown. All right, so his first cartoon business went bankrupt. And it was called Laugh-O-Gram Studios. And he founded it in 1920, and it went bankrupt a couple of years later. So he moved to Los Angeles and tried acting, right? And he failed at that. Then he decided to start his animation studio, when he had moved to California. And he brought his brother with him. Okay. So he created Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. And then what happened? Let's see. Oh, yes. Oh, okay. So it got stolen. So Oswald the Lucky Rabbit got stolen by a producer. Nice. That sounds familiar. There's a lot of that going on YouTube, stealing. But anyway, so yeah, so it was stolen from him. So he didn't, take revenge or sue or do anything like that. He just kept moving, right? Then let's see. He created Mickey Mouse. Okay. So he was in debt for a long time. He wasn't eating well. They say he was eating canned beans and stuff like that. Um, he found Mickey Mouse, started doing that. And then the bankers rejected his concept over 300 times before they gave him funding. Okay, so think about that. You have a dream, it gets rejected 300 times. They say over 300 times. So I don't know what the number is, but they say over 300 times it got rejected before he got his funding. So that's a lot of failure, right? Then he had trouble keeping that business going, right? So, oh yeah, and then somebody stole his best animators from him right after that. Then he had a nervous breakdown. I know I'm not laughing at. I'm just saying this is crazy. I'm laughing at the absurdity of this. This is kind of absurd, right? So he had a nervous breakdown. Then let's see what happened. All right. He took time off, and then he decided to develop Snow White. So this was 1937 was when it was completed, and it was a huge box office success. Then he had Pinocchio in 1940, Fantasia in 1940, Bambi in 1942, which were duds. So Snow White was a winner, was a banger. But then Pinocchio, Fantasia, and Bambi the next couple of years were flops, right? So then during World War II, his animators went on strike. Let's see. And his studio had $4 million in debt. And this is in the whatever, World War II, 1940s. It's a lot. Then, once the war was over, he tried to rebuild the company again, and they started doing television, right? And they were saying, people were kind of laughing at him because he decided to do television. And then, now this is the opening of Disneyland. This is kind of funny. Not funny, but interesting. Um, so Disneyland opened in July 17th, 1955. They called the opening of Disneyland Black Sunday. This is the reason why. Okay. Number one, people were forging tickets. So people who had counterfeit tickets were in the park, and the lines were crazy, right? So there were more visitors than what they had anticipated. It was over 100 degrees, so it was burning up. And they said that the asphalt was melting on people's shoes. You know how women wore high heels and stuff all the time? So they said it was sticking to people's high heels. And then the drinking fountains weren't working. I'm sorry. It's just as crazy. The drinking fountains weren't working. So it's a 100-degree day. And then there was a plumbing strike. So the drinking fountains weren't working. And then a lot of the rides malfunctioned that day. And so of course he got a lot of flack for not having a good day, but there it was. Yeah. So that's Disneyland. Ay, ay, ay. So that's okay. So the point of all this is to show you that, Walt Disney went through it, including a nervous breakdown. So, little old me, I figure, my little stuff that's happening, I can get through this. What? But let's see. Okay. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Roberta said, I don't know. The antagonist might have turned out bitter men too. Oh, okay. But yes. Oh, yes. And then she's suggesting I should read about Norman Rockwell. Yeah, I know about Norman Rockwell. His was interesting too. Yes. And originally, the original Mickey Mouse was Steamboat Willie. Yep. And that was the first talking, I think, animated one. Yeah. And then, yep, she liked Fantasia. Oh yeah, hashtag VOM. I know it's crazy. This is crazy, right? I mean, I've had stuff go wrong, but I don't think quite anything like that. So I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Yes. If it could have gone wrong, it did. Yeah. So that's interesting. So I just want to just say to people, hey, stuff happens. So there's Walt Disney. So what happened. Like eventually, he became very famous. A lot of people have emulated his work, stolen his work, things like that. That is very interesting. So, that being said, there's a lot going on, right? So I just wanted to just pull that out there. There's some others like that, but yes, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Wow. Like I read that, I'm like, I'm tired. I gotta take a sip of coffee. That was a lot. Yeah. So that being said, and I don't even know what Disney's worth now and all that. Like I don't even follow any of this stuff. But it's very, very interesting what people go through. So you really don't know the true story about what's going on in the background. And I guess that's what I always like to say to people. And when you have it, like it's really tough when you have, difficult parents, difficult home life, and you hear about stories of people leaving home, at 12, 13, 14. I don't know how you do it. Like, that's crazy. I was not prepared for that, me personally, but it's very, very interesting. But like I said, but the bottom line is with that story is you just have to keep going. And he did. And it paid off, and that's the whole thing. You never know when it's going to pay off. All that hard work. Yeah. Okay. So there it is. So here's another quote. I'll throw this one out too. This kind of goes along with Walt Disney. Because like I said, I had started to talk about it a couple weeks ago, and I forgot to pull that link up. And I remembered some of it, but I just couldn't remember all of it. But yeah, that's crazy. Not to judge a book by its cover. Oh boy, is that beautiful. Yes. Um, yeah, the moral of the story is not to judge a book by its cover. Yeah, it's very interesting. Um, but anyway, very successful, and they're very wealthy. And I think I don't know if it's his daughter or his granddaughter said something very interesting. And this is a little bit on the political side, but here it goes. She said she would be willing to pay taxes, more taxes, because she said she realizes that poor people pay more than she does. And I just was like, really? I have never heard a rich person ever say that, but she did. And I guess he made so much money that like his grandchildren are wealthy. You know what I mean? And that's kind of cool. I mean, you know what I mean, for them, I guess. I don't know. It's really interesting. Like money and wealth can bring on its own set of situations, but I just think that's very interesting that his granddaughter was like, yeah, granddaughter, yeah. So the fact is, his granddaughter is wealthy because of his work. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Granddaughter. Yeah. So think about that, right? Yes. Oh, well, thank you. Yes. Yes, hashtag VOM. That's right. Well said. That's right. So it's very interesting, so there it is. But I'm gonna give you one more food for thought. And then I want to like overburden your brain for Monday morning. But here it goes. Now this is from Maya Angelou. And this is ties all in with this Walt Disney and the, keep going. We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. And that's Maya Angelou. Yes. Yes, she's charitable. I know. I think his granddaughter is awesome. Like I would love to meet her and have a sit down with her. I would love to. Oh, she's awesome. Yeah, she's like I don't know. I cannot remember her name. It's Disney, but like I can't remember her first name. But she is awesome. If Google, just Google her. She's very interesting. I have to say, yeah, she's very, very interesting and open minded. Like I was like, okay, girl, I see you. But yeah, here we go. So as we may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. Maya Angelou. So that's the thing that that Disney story kind of tells you. Many many defeats, and that happens to a lot of people in life. But oh, one last one. This is good. Yes. Oh, hey, Jeanette's here. Yes. Yeah. So right. So his granddaughter is very charitable. Yeah, she's charitable. And because the thing is, I guess there's a certain point. I don't know if people say this, but like I think there's a certain point where you have everything, right? You have everything you need. So you have your roof over your head, your food, your clothing, that kind of stuff. And then you have your home. Maybe you have another home. Maybe you have a car. And then after that, what else do you really need? You know what I mean? Your health, obviously, but I'm just saying, financially, like what do you really need? It's a good question. Hmm. Something to think about. But anyway, this is just to kind of cement the whole thing. This is a quote from Walt Disney. This is pretty funny. Not funny, but interesting in light of what we just heard, right? If you can dream it, you can do it. Walt Disney. And I'm going to put that in the banner. But that's his quote. So like I said, just pondering, just following his history. And yeah, I'm going to put this in the quote. Hang on a sec. Hopefully I can do this without causing mayhem. Okay. All right, here he goes. So, but that's the thing. Life is a series of ups and downs, and how you react to the downs. Because when things are going great, it's great, right? But when it's not, it's you have to adjust your attitude to keep moving forward, and to try something else. And you see that's what he did. And I think TV got him going. After all those failures. And then let's see. So I'll put Walt Disney, yeah, in here too. I'm gonna put him in the banner since this is his story today. And then so anyway, so tell me what you think. It's crazy, right? Crazy. But I just like to show people that there's a lot more to that story. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Yes. Because like I said, I don't have any good stories like that. You know what I mean? That I can actually put in there. There's Walt Disney. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I like that. If you can dream it, you can do it. Yes. So let's go back to the comments. Put that there. Okay. So good to see you, DOI Creations. She's saying good morning, Kelly, and everyone in the chat. Yeah. Thanks for the thumbs up. Yes. Please send a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. And then here we go. Okay. Let me make sure. She's saying hi. Put you on the screen here. Very slow. Oh, you missed that one? Okay. Well, it's on the banner. So it says, so this is because we were talking about Walt Disney. So he says, if you can dream it, you can do it. Yeah. And so it's funny that he was very optimistic in light of all the struggles that he went through in life. Yes. Sometimes it's also how you handle the ups. Okay. Give me more, Roberta. Let me know what you think about that. That's an interesting point of view. Yeah. I was just saying, like, when you have the downs, that's the hard. I think it's hard. I think it's hard both ways. Maybe you're right. Yeah, but give me more on that one. Give me more on that one. Sometimes it's also how you handle the ups. But definitely when you handle the downs, that's when you find out how strong you are. If when you get through the things that give you difficulties. Yep. And we got Frugal Mama. Wellness with Frugal Mama. Good to see you. Okay, you like that, right? Yeah. So this is Walt Disney. Yeah. So like I said, my dad was a big Disney fan, and so like he, sort of spilling his business, but it's over now. He bought stock in Disney early, early in the situation, and made out pretty well with that, because it went up quite a bit. So he was lucky. But he was just like, he liked the vision. He liked the vision. He liked I think my dad liked the fantasy, just kind of getting away. And so like I said, we went to the parks a lot. My father lived in California, and Disneyland is so small that you can just roll up and go, which is amazing. I love it. I loved Disney for that reason. But when they opened Disney World in Florida, I was kind of like, for me that was terrible, because you park about 5 miles away from the park. Like, the parking lot's 5 miles away from the park, and then you got to get on the shuttle. It's crazy. So you park 5 miles away, you pay to park, and it's not cheap. They take you on a shuttle. It takes you like 15, 20 minutes to get there. You're on a train. You got to take a train in. Then you go, and then it just goes on and on. And then, the hotels in there were pretty pricey and stuff like that. And and back in those days when we used to go, you could get I'm almost afraid to tell you how much the tickets were, but the tickets were Like my dad could pull a 20 out of his pocket and go and pay for the three, my two sisters and myself. You know what I mean? No, 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 no. He could pay for two people. It was like, it's like $10 a head or something like that. $10 a person, which was for a little kid ticket. And I think the new price now in Disney World, I think both places now, I think it's over 100 per person per day if you buy a day ticket. And it's kind of, for me, I feel like it's a little pricey. Yeah. So for a regular family, if you're wealthy, it's all good. But it's not. It's $100 per person per day just to get in one park, basically, which I think is terrible. Yes. Oh, you see it. Yep. There we go. Yep. Okay. Oh, here we go. I like this. Okay. Okay. All right. If you are up, okay, this is what it's not magic. Roberta's saying. If you are up and aren't humble, you can speed up the downslope. Ooh, interesting. Aha. Now I've seen no, actually, you know what's funny, Roberta? I have not seen too much downsloping with people that I've kind of encountered in life who became not humble after becoming very successful. But if you look in public right now, there's a lot of downsloping. But I think there's more to that story with the downsloping that we're seeing in public right now. Yeah. Here we go. And then, Jeanette's saying, when life knocks me down, I like to reflect on what I'm doing right, but also what I'm doing incorrect. Ooh. So here's the thing, though, Jeanette. This is very interesting. That's a healthy view of how to handle that. But see, here's the thing. Sometimes you can do everything right and still fail. Yeah. Yep. Yep. And later on, if you want to, I don't know if you were here when I was reading the story about Walt Disney, but there's and I'll put this in the chat actually. Let me see if I can put this in. But this is let me see. Did I close it? It's this article is called Walt Disney's Rocky Road to Success. And it's on biography.com. And just read through that and take a look at some of the failures. And I sort of talked about it earlier in the live stream. And if anybody missed it, just rewind and take a listen because it's crazy. It's crazy. And a lot of the stuff, I mean, like he had to encounter the Great Depression. A lot of people, lost money and failed during the Depression because just everything dried up the economy. So sometimes outside forces that are beyond your control can cause you failure. You know what I mean? Yes. So that's crazy, but that's for sure. But that is good, but it's good to reevaluate. And I think that's kind of the thing that we always talk about. Like when you're trying to do a plan or something like that, like you always have to go back and reevaluate what went well, so you have to sort of like draw. I used to like flip charts back in the day, a piece of paper up on the wall, okay, this happened, this went well, this didn't go well, what can we do to fix it, so that's a healthy way to look at things that don't go well. But sometimes it's not in your control, sometimes just things happen, right? Yes. So you got frugal mamas here. Yes. One saying hi. Yes. There you go. And then let's see. Oh, okay. And then Roberta's saying, maybe the failure isn't you, it's outside forces. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Thank you. I should have kept reading down the chat, but yeah, that's for sure. And that's the thing that's so crazy. Sometimes things happen. Like for example, remember Jonathan Myers is here. Hello. On Instagram. Sometimes things happen like remember 2008. Well, when was okay, that's one example. Like the economy just tanked for no apparent, I don't remember even what the reason was. It's been that long, but there were issues in 2008. And then also 2020, remember 2020, the big C. Oh, that altered a lot of people's success. So what was interesting about 2020, like now in hindsight, kind of thinking about it, 2020 sort of altered the way people work. And people went inside, right? They were outside, they went inside. You know, a lot of YouTube. That's when YouTube blew up. Uh, working from home, how to work from home, things like that. Yeah, that was an outside force. Yes. Let's see. And that may be how Walt became harder than you would expect. Yeah, that could be. I mean, it definitely, they say, what does that say? Something sharpens iron. Something, yeah, something like that. Something sharpens, I don't know. Oh, Kelly, you really did come from overachievers. Yeah, see, I'm telling you, it's very interesting. And that it there's positives and negatives for this stuff. You know what I mean? Because like in other words, the times that I did fail, man, I heard it from my family. I mean, they were brutal, And but I know people that have failed and failed up, you know. I failed down, but like a lot of people fail up. And I'm trying to think I can't even think of examples of that, but I've seen people fail and then get the best job. I was, oh, I know what it was. Like one of my like I'd missed some opportunity anyway. So I was working in this job and this company started poaching people, right? And they called me and I was like a weenie. Like I was like, I don't know about these people, you know? But the thing that was funny was the people that they poached that I worked with all doubled their salary. And I don't know, like it's funny, they all disappeared. Like I don't know what happened, but they all got poached by this company, double or triple their salary, got all this I mean, made like tons of money. And I was an idiot. I stayed where I was. So that's like a big failure. Like, what? And, you know, I mean, I don't know if those people would have hired me, but like it was just one of those things that the people that did, take the leap really made out well. And yeah. So that's like an example. Yes. Yes. And that's true. Yes, Suzanne, very good. Yes. The definitions of success and failure are very different. You're right. And everybody's got different views on that. And Roberta's saying, what happened in 2020? Yes. Yes. Oh, yes, this is true. I worked in a company that if you messed up, you move up. Yeah, you messed up. Yes. And there were a lot of people that, you know, yes, failed, lost money, then got promoted. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I always made money, but mm, oh well, there's that. So there it is. Yeah. Um, yes. Oh, okay. And you say that isn't really a failure if those people just, oh, okay, yeah, into another. I know if they disappeared. I don't know. But it's weird because, like I said, but I think I was too timid to like make the big leap, And I mean, but the other thing is, like, I found out later that, see, I don't know if those people lasted long. See, and that's kind of, see, it's really weird because I'm slightly loyal, maybe to a fault. And so I was sort of dedicated to what I was doing because I was doing what I was doing was sort of helping people, kind of, sort of, maybe. But these people were just all about money, and they were gone, and I just could not live that way. Not saying that I wouldn't enjoy more financial rewards and things like that, but it's very very interesting that like you can't chase the money. Because I kind of think that those people didn't last long at that company. I don't think so. And then I found out behind the scenes that there were like issues with that company. I mean, just like the way they treated their employees, but they sort of bought them. And that was kind of, I don't know. Makes you wonder. You know what I mean? Yeah, I may have dodged a bullet. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. It's very interesting. Yes. Oh, and that's a good point. Yeah, thanks, Suzanne. She's keeping me on the straight and narrow. Yeah, success isn't always equated with money. Money doesn't buy happiness. Yeah. But like I said, the three rich people I know, I'm sorry, I'm snickering because it is funny. Like I hear people say that all the time, and I go, oh, I don't know. Like the people that I know that had money were really chilling. Like I liked how relaxed they were, and I wish I could buy that relaxation. And it's interesting. you know, so I don't know. It's weird. I see both sides of that. Yeah, money doesn't buy happiness, but I think it can make your life a little softer in some ways. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, and it does. Oh well, yeah, money doesn't buy class. That's for sure. Um, but like, well, I'll see if I can. I'll try to hide the. I can't tell you who it is, but this. I met this girl, and we had gone to like a. We'd gone to like an out of state basketball game. That's what happened. Okay, so we went to an out of state basketball game, and trying to see. I'm trying to without revealing the business. I know because you might know who it. No, you won't know who it is, but you might be able to deduce. But anyway, this person owned owned a business that I didn't know this girl was wealthy. Okay, here we go. This is the bottom line. I didn't know she was wealthy, and we went to her hometown, and we were going to this basketball game, but we had all this time before the game because the game we arrived in town about 7 hours early, so we had about 5 hours to kill. And we went to her house, and she goes, "Oh, come to my house." Right? And I'm like, "Oh, cool," because I'm like, I'm bored. Like, I don't want to sit in the bus or whatever for seven or whatever, or just walking around for 7 hours in the stadium or whatever. And we go. So the first thing, like I said, I didn't know like that she was wealthy. So her father walks in. He goes, "Hey, I'm parked outside. I'm double parked, so I got to hurry up and get back to the car before they tow it. But I'm in a brown car. Just go around the corner, and I'll be right there. When you get your bag, just I'll be right there." And he bolted, to save his car. So I go outside, and there's two brown cars, and one is like a 1975 bomb. Like it's like I don't even know what it is. It's like a Chrysler or something, or a Dodge. It's like this big rusty Brady Bunch car. And then the other one is like a Rolls Royce Corniche, and I'm like, which car is it? Because he was like inside the car. Like I didn't see who was in. Like there were two men in the car that looks very similar. So I'm going, oh my gosh, okay. So we go in there. Oh hey Bonnie, good to see you. And anyway, so I jump in the so I go outside. He goes, oh hey Kelly, I'm over here. I'm like, oh my god, he's in the Rolls Royce, and I'm like, oh okay, all right now. So then we go. So we get in the car, so when we get in the car, and there's like two or three other people. We all decided to go to this girl's house, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't know her that well. I knew, I knew her, but not real well. And we were sort of talking in the car. And we're chit chatting. Her father, had a business where at the time, it was like he was making like it was a garment. He was making garments that people were buying like crazy. So he was, multimillionaire. And so we get in this Rolls Royce, and we're driving. Oh, Bonnie, I'm in Chicago. We're driving across whatever that highway is that goes from the airport, O'Hare, to downtown. So we're driving in the Rolls Royce, and people are looking in the window, and they're like, "Who are these people?" And I'm like thinking the Jeffersons. We're moving on up. I'm in the car, and I'm just like, I'm sitting in this Rolls Royce, and I am chilling. And people were just staring because it was just like this brand new car, and it's beautiful. And the wood grain in the front, and the leather seats. I mean, it was amazing. And I'm just like, and it sounded like an airplane. It was just like, I mean, we were chilling in this car, and these people are looking in there, and they're going, "Oh my god!" So later on, so we get to her house, and we're on. Hold on. What is that place? Okay, Bonnie, you got to help me. Where do the rich people live in Chicago? Um, she'll tell me. Downtown in the high rises. So anyway, so we get to their house, and we're in the penthouse of this building. And downtown Chicago, which I don't even know what that costs to live in, but a lot. And then so anyway, but the funny thing was her dad cooked us lunch. And that was so cool. So he made us lunch, and then we rode the Rolls Royce back to the stadium later. I mean, we were just hanging out, and I was just watching Chicago in the penthouse, and it was cool. And I said, "Boy, Michigan Avenue, thank you." That's where he lived. That's where she lived. And I went, "Yeah, it was a moving on up." That's right. And I was just that song was in my head the whole time, and I'm like, "This is great." Yeah. But the bottom line was, he was such a nice guy that he was so sweet, and he bought like 100 tickets for his friends, and they all came to the game. And he just wanted to do nice stuff. And I thought that was cool. I just thought that's the kind of stuff I would love to do within reason. You know what I mean? But he bought tickets for all his friends and relatives, and they all came, and we were all like hanging out, and it was good. But I had never been, on yes, Michigan Avenue or in Chicago at that point. I think that was probably no, that wasn't the first time, but that was probably the first time as an adult going there. Yeah. So it was very nice. But the thing was, he was very giving, and you know, he was very sweet. He really was. He was very humble, very sweet. And I said, that's a positive, wealthy person. And he, and their apartment was not fancy. It was could have used a little updating, you know what I mean? But it was great. Yeah, but that's where we were. We were in a penthouse. So Oprah lives there, right? Somewhere around there. Yeah, it's moving on up experience moment. Yep. Rolls Royce was beautiful. Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, it was because I like cars. And I went, I'll tell you, it was amazing. Lakeshore Drive. Yes, maybe that's it. Might be Lakeshore Drive. Lakeshore Drive. That's where we were. Yeah, Lakeshore Drive. Sorry, not Michigan. Michigan Avenue is the shopping, right? But Lakeshore Drive. That's where all the rich people live. Yes. Yeah. And I think Oprah lives there and some other people. Yeah. So, yep, everything's expensive. But it was beautiful. And that's the kind of stuff that I think like money can do for you. Like you hear about kids who buy their parents' houses, things like that. Yeah, Michigan Avenue shopping. See, I remember that. Yes, Lakeshore Drive. So anyway, but I think that's the thing that money can do for you. Now, the flip side of it is, and I've seen this just from my little, minimal brushes with wealthy people, is that a lot of times, family members kind of expect you to always constantly give them money, and that's difficult. Because if you have a heart and a soul, like you hate to say no if you have it, right? But anyway, I don't know if I could put up with that. But that's the kind of the side thing. But oh, let me see here. So there we go. So that's my little wealthy story. So I don't know. So I think the love of money is problematic, and I think if you use money for evil, that's problematic. And well, this guy had a car. Yeah, he had a the door guy picked up the car and I guess parked it for him. I mean, it was amazing. It looked like that, Jefferson's moment. Yeah, we walked out and I was, but people were definitely looking in the car trying to see who we were, and we were, random people. But it was cool. Yes, let's see. Some do, but I'm just saying, a couple of Olivia's girlfriends lived downtown and left their cars in the suburbs at their parents. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. No, no, you can't. I mean, you can't have a car in any city. I mean, it's just too expensive, and there's no room really to put the cars. And that's the. But this guy had a car. I guess I don't know what he used it for. Yeah, it's weird, but he did. He had a car. Yes, you're right. Yes, these days getting in the car with strangers is iffy. Yeah, but like I said, I wasn't alone, but I was with other people. But we were all kind of like, "Where's the car?" Like, because he had his head inside. He was bent over and he was pulling something out or whatever. And then there it was. But it was good. So anyway, but he was very sweet, and he was charitable. Like he was all those things. So this is what I'm talking about. So money can you can give charity, leave your money for a charity, that give to charity. You don't have to make a big deal about it. And I think that's a beautiful thing. But that's what it is. Yes, the love of money is the root of all evil. And if you look at like a lot of stuff that's in like pop culture and things like that. They sort of celebrate, brands, and cars and houses and things like that. And I think it's really tough for people who are young because right now, the economy is not so good for a lot of people. And so seeing all these things that you can't have is problematic. You know what I mean? I think it just sort of puts all those doubts in your head. You know what I mean? And so the bottom line is, you really have to try to pursue what you can do. And then, like I said, if you when you have money, you can always, like I said, you can always do these great things. And I think that's the reason in some ways that I sort of halfway look to try to, do better financially is to, kind of uplift my family. And, we were able to do a little bit of that, for our kids. So there's like a lot, better schools, things like that. But yes, good morning, Boucher Street. Good to see you. Yes. Yeah, parking is outrageous. Yeah. Uh, you know, Philadelphia does this thing with parking where it's like $10 for the first 15 minutes or something, and then they tack another fee on top of that, and you're just like, "Really? Just charge a flat fee and stop playing." But that's what they do. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Interesting, Roberta. The problem with giving to charities, even if you don't have money, yeah, give to one they all want. Yeah. See, I don't understand this thing because somebody said to me that they gave, and then they started getting like barrages of phone calls from other charities, which I thought that was tragic that these people were selling these people's information, and then these people were being harassed by, that's terrible. Yeah. Yeah, so you do. Yeah, you really do. And so for me, the one charity, I can just share with you this thing is that like I'm kind of into literacy. So I like to give to libraries. So I used to volunteer at my local library. So I'm a real big proponent of local libraries. And if you can give them, they need the money for sure. And also like children's hospitals, that's my other thing. I'm a little bit partial to those, so like medical. See, medical's tricky because I don't know if the money always gets to where it needs to get to, but there were a lot of children's hospitals specifically. I like, to kind of get them going. Yep. Yeah, you really do. Yeah, you go on a list. Yeah, and somebody else told me that too. A couple people have told me that. I was really kind of saddened by that. Yeah, that you go on a list. It's like the sucker list, right? Yes. And then Suzanne saying it's always helpful to know where people got their money before judging. Right. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. So like I said, if you kind of look at you know, the criminals, well, they did a lot of underhanded stuff, you know. So yeah, you don't want to get money that way for sure. Yes. And then Bonnie saying St. Jude and McDonald's are the only ones I know where everything goes to taking care of who they help. Yeah. And I worked a little bit with a children's hospital for a minute, and they had a Ronald McDonald House there, and I got a chance to tour that, and that was really nice. And that's one of those places I would definitely, if I had more. Well, that's kind of on the bucket list for me to kind of give some money there. Yep. Yes. Another way that having money to spare will harden you. Really? Now, why do you say that, Roberta? You gotta tell me why. Yeah, it could be all the people coming at you. Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah, but but like I said, having a little extra is good because it just allows you just a little bit of breathing room to, like I said, I've lived paycheck to paycheck, and I don't know, how people are doing it, today, but like living paycheck to paycheck, I think is really stressful, you know, and it's not the best. Like you try to save, and the thing is you want to save a little bit. They say save 10%, save 20%. You do the best that you can, but you know, when it's paycheck to paycheck and you're going, I have $3 left. I have $5, I have $20 left. Like that's tough. Some people don't even have that. Sometimes they're in the hole. So, it's like I said, I'm just grateful that I've been able to sort of make it. You know what I mean? Have a little bit to spare. But it would be nice to have a lot more to spare, because like you said, educating people is expensive, stuff like that. So that's always what I'm thinking about. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, please remember charities are businesses too, although not for profit. Yeah. And they have to stay afloat. And they're supposed to, give you the information about how the money's spent. But a lot of times they don't. Yeah, they really should. Yeah, so that's how I don't know if anybody can speak on that, but like I said, I have limited charities that I do donate to. So for me, it's more my local libraries, and that's where I spend. Like I volunteer and also give them, funding here and there. So yes. Oh, there we go. Oh, you get hardened because you have to say no when you really want to help everyone. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Yeah, and you've seen like a lot of athletes and stuff like that where they've tried to, you know, hire and pay for all their friends, and I'm going like, you can't. Adults have to adult and do and do their own thing. You know what I mean? Like one person can't take care of everybody. That's for sure. Yes, yes. And then did I miss something? Oh, here we go. Yep. And then Bonnie says she drops change when she goes through McDonald's. Yep. They have that Saint no McDonald Ronald McDonald House. Sorry, I saw the St. Jude's comment above. Yep. But that's it, and so that's the other thing I would say, is and you can always think about this, like I said, because life is short. You have to think about, where you want to spread those assets, when you leave, if you have any, and things like that. Because like, what do you want your legacy to be? And you know, so this whole all this planning, I guess I'm going to try to turn, sew this up in a nice little knot here, but tie everything together. But the thing is, you have to say to yourself, like, what's your legacy? Because like I said, just accumulating stuff for just the sake of accumulating stuff doesn't do a whole lot for you. But if you can sort of transform lives and things like that, that's pretty cool if you can do it, in a positive way. All right. Oh, facts. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. There you go. Okay. It's not magic. It's saying, Suzanne, even the nonprofits have to pay their employees. See, that's the thing. There we go. But some get hundreds of thousands and the charity only gets cents on the dollar. See, that's where it's problematic. Yeah, thank you, Roberta. Yep. And then Frugal Mama saying facts to that. Yep. So that's the thing. So you have to really do some investigating as to how these people are allocating this money. So let's see. Yep. And there are a lot of charities out there. That's what Bonnie's saying. You just have to investigate to see who invests their money and how they raise it. Yeah, I got you. Bad reading, but yeah, you have to see how they, if they invest the money, if it gets, what percentage goes to the people that they claim to help. Yeah, so you have to find out all those things before you give. You know, let's see. Oops, here we go. So I guess to get around the no, let's see, volunteer. Well, let's see, just to get around the no money thing. Yeah, volunteer. Yeah, you can volunteer. And people do need volunteers for sure. And that's the one thing, like I said, you sort of, that's where you put your money where your mouth is. Cause your time, you can always get more money, but you can't get more time. And you really have to focus on those things that are important to you in terms of time. Cause remember, we were saying, you got 24 hours in a day, you're sleeping about 6. So let's see, 8. You got 18 hours. And then if you work full time, you subtract 9 or 10 from the 18. You got about 8 hours a day that you have free to do whatever it is that you like to do and what brings you joy and peace and fulfillment, right? So that's the thing. You only got about 8 hours a day that you have that's really truly yours. If you work outside or inside the home, really. So that's what I always say. You really got to make all this stuff count because there's not, you don't have a lot of time and you don't know how much time you have left. And I think that is the thing that, like I said, that really kicked me in the head, about mid-year, when I was meeting with my high school friends and we were talking about people who are no longer here. And then some of the people, who were ill and things like that. And I just went, oh my Lord, I have to get cranking. And so every day I'm trying to do a little something just to, you know, take care of business, try to keep trying to grow the channel a little bit, trying to, grow my assets a little bit here and there when I can. And, you know, being the best wife, mother, those kind of things that I can be. And, yeah, you know what I mean? Let's see. Hang on just a sec. Let's see. Sorry, I had a little cough there. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Yes, right. And then yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you meant. Yep. Yep. And then yeah, you were just trying to get, but yeah, you have to make sure if they don't disclose it that it is a red flag. And that's what Roberta's saying. Let me go back up in the chat here. Yeah. So that way, and that's something that you can request, from any of these charities. And they should tell you. So like there's a charity that we all know of that's a thrift store that I want to say the CEO was making 1.2 million. That's the last thing I saw. You can do some research on that, but the one example is, there's a charity, a thrift store, they get this stuff for free. The CEO's making 1.2 million. Now I have to wonder if this is a charity. Yeah, that's a pretty high I don't know what the CEO does, but like that's a lot of money for a charity. I'm thinking if it's a charity, they should get like a regular salary. But that's just me. Yes. And then, yeah, everywhere you go now, they always say, do you want to round off your money? Yes. Oh, boy. I only rounded off at McDonald's. Well, I put it in the thing. Yep, I got you. Let's see. And then, yep, Roberta. Yep, they're hiding something. Forget about. Yep, if they don't disclose how they use the money. Yep. And let's see. And then Suzanne said, come on. Here we go. I tend to think most people watching on YouTube constantly are not working for money anymore. Sorry, Suzanne. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I think people, you can't make, well, like I said, it just depends. You can make some money on YouTube, but if you have a big following and things like that, you can. Yeah. And let's see. I'll tell you one more story there. And I just noticed it. Hey, Maura. Hello, Kelly. Have been listening while in the shower. In the shower. Appreciate your words. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah, I was in the background last night on yours. I went to bed early, sadly, ish. But I had you running. Yeah, we got our treasured home is here. Yes, hello. And then Bonnie's saying, a lot of people on YouTube always beg for money. Oh, but I say if you want to get money, you have to put out the right content. Woo! All right now. Yes. Oh, but yes. That's crazy. Yeah. So the bottom line is, well, so I'll give you an example. So there's somebody I started following just like a week or two ago, and I don't want to. Ugh. I'll just give you the basics of the channel. I don't want to give you the name, but you can look at it. You'll see it. So this person was one of those delivery people, that bring you your food and stuff. And the interesting thing is they showed their stats on YouTube. And I think last month this person got 10,000 subscribers and 1 point something million views. And I think YouTube paid them. I don't remember the number. It might have been 3,000, almost $4,000. It was something, couple $1,000. It was up there. It was like a decent little pay. And I said, wow, that's nice. Yeah. And so because this person got such a big following so quickly, um, when they put out a video, they get, I want to say she got 3,000. No, it might have been 10,000 views in a couple of days. So that's pretty good. So that's kind of where you want to be, at least to start with. That's where you want to get to. And this was somebody who just recently started on YouTube, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but that's the kind of following where if you get a bigger following than that, and people, if people come in and are constantly watching your content like that, you can actually make a living on YouTube. So little people like myself and, other people, it's not quite the same, but, for me, it's going to be a slower growth, but that's amazing, that that person got that many subscribers in a month. That's pretty good, right? Yes. Yeah, and I believe that, Bonnie. But the thing was, she posted the clip from the YouTube studio, so that's why I believe it. I mean, I guess you can alter it, but I don't know. It seems to me that if you once you get that following like that, that's huge. Yeah, that's really huge. And that's kind of those are the people that are making money on YouTube, not little tiny channels like myself. I mean, not that I'm talking myself down, but you know what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Yes. But it's interesting. Oh, let's see. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I missed this one. Roberta said, Bonnie, you get a lot of that on Facebook too. The sad stories of I have kids and I'm hungry, but I can't go to. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing that you have to be really concerned about. Because I saw this, I haven't seen this documentary, but there was a documentary about a woman who faked that she had an illness, like a serious illness, and pulled all this money out of people. And it was like she was affiliated with the church. I don't know. I don't know the exact, but it's on Netflix, I believe. No, I think it's Netflix. But it was this woman who faked her whole story. She faked that she had the C word and went through this whole thing, stole all this money from these people. And I just went, oh no, this is terrible. And I guess she's in prison. I don't know. But I have to watch this documentary, but I get the commercial every now and again. And I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. Yes. Yes. Um, you're right. Okay. Yes. Let me see. Did I show this one? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. A lot of people are just saying, I'm sick. I'm sick. I worked last year with a bad back, worked every day, didn't beg for money. I worked for it. There you go. That's the bottom line, Bonnie. Yeah. And that's tragic when people do that. Right. And then you're like, what if it's true and I'm being hard-hearted? I know. This is see how complicated life can be sometimes. Yeah. And it was rough. Yeah, Bonnie's been going through it. Yeah. See, that's amazing that you make it through, because a bad back is tough. Oh yeah. Well, there's Jen Reeves. Hello. Hello, everyone. LOL, Mara's bold. I know I like it. I waited to comment till after I got dressed and after my shower. Nice. Jen. So funny. Yes. Scamming and flim flamming. Scamming and flim flamming is an age old profession. Yeah, it's tragic. So we all know let's all be better. So we're all working hard. Yeah, we're all working hard and we're doing the best that we can. And I think that's all you can ask yourself. But let me see if I can tie this all together. So today we discussed. Oh, first of all, let's go back. So a few weeks ago, I was meeting with my high school friends, and I sort of realized like we're old now, and and you waited till you got dressed. Sorry, I have to laugh. You guys are crazy, I mean, in a good way. And so we were saying that like we were just sort of discussing people that we've lost and that we've known and things like that. And and we were just saying, there's so many things we want to do. And my one friend, was pretty successful. A couple of them are pretty successful, and their life is so amazingly soft. Like it's weird. Like they're not struggling. It's kind of cool, like at least financially. They're not struggling, but they're very family oriented, and they're always like giving to their kids and their grandkids and spending time and things like that. And I said, yeah, that's kind of the way to live. You know what I mean? Like it's good. That's the stuff that money can bring you. It can bring you time. People who like own their own businesses and stuff, they can sort of regulate the time that they can spend with family members. And I think that's huge. And that's something that money can get you, if you have a business that's going well. Um, yeah, you never know when Google's watching. They're watching. They're watching all kinds of stuff. Yeah, and I'll just remind me. Hold that thought about Google. I'll tell you a funny story that happened yesterday. Yes, And then a lot of people do come around with their sad stories. But the bottom line is, like I said, you know, because life is so short, and this is, sort of what started me on this little quest. Even harder, I guess, over the summer was that we realized we lost a lot of good friends. We had a friend pass away, I think, right? Yeah. She passed away, I think, a couple of days right before we got together, and just for a little weekend thing. And we were just like, gosh, this is crazy, like life is so crazy. So we were just like saying, we got to get out there and do what we want to do. We want to try to have some dreams, build, just kind of do some things that you think you might want to do on a bucket list. So I'm saying, so if there's anything you want to do, try to put together a plan, put those finances together and do it. Yes. And so that's the mantra that I've been kind of saying to myself. And I even, said that to my daughters. I was like, don't wait, because you just don't know. You just don't know. And, it's something. So, this just try to put that bucket list together, put together a plan, and try to put together the steps that you think that it will take to get that plan going. And then, you have to reevaluate, you got to reevaluate, and you got to say, oh, this worked, this didn't work. If not, you got to pivot. You might have to go a different direction, but eventually you get to, some of the things that you want to do, because life is so short. And if you saw all the passings these past couple of weeks, it's been crazy, and I'm still sticking to that. Like, you got to do what you got to do. But just kind of talking about the story of Walt Disney, you are going to find some failures in this whole process. I won't say failures, but there's going to be times when it doesn't work, and you have to sort of keep going. And that's the mantra of Walt Disney. I mean, he had a lot of failures, oh, hey, Scott, Controversial Cruising, good to see you. And, and El Samoan Watchman, hello, good to see you always. And so that's the right. I like this one. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I agree. I think they should pay me more for the info they get from watching me. That's Roberta. I love it. Yeah. I mean, so that's really the whole story, is that he really kept going, and it took him probably 30 years to get it together to really be profitable. And so a lot of people don't know that. And so you see these successful people, and you realize, and you don't understand the struggle that goes on in the background. So that being said, I just want to say, use that as an example. And this is what he always says: if you can dream it, you can do it. And that's a very, very optimistic. Oh, this is what I want to say. This is a very, very optimistic view on life for all the things that he went through. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yes, Google can afford it. I love it. Okay, so you made it to Sacramento. Yay. That's good. Things hang loose. Yeah. Samoan Watchman. Everyone's saying, hey. Yes. You're right. And Google can afford it. I like that. Yes, and Bonnie's saying, I hate seeing all the deaths that have been going on, but the last 2 weeks, at least they were old. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, the young people passing away really upsets me. Yep, I agree. Yeah, that's for sure. Yep. Okay. All right. So it's not magic, is saying hugs, Kelly. This has been good today. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm trying. Oh, no. See? Yay. Cousin's funeral. Samoan Watchman has been through it this year too. Oh my goodness. Condolences, brother. Oh my goodness. Ay, ay, ay. It's been crazy, It's been like, I hate to say, I can't think of another word, but like, it's just been a lot. Like, my heart is heavy. Like, it's been an incredibly emotional time for a lot of people I know. So I'm like, ugh. And I think I've been in this mode, since like mid-July. It's been really interesting. So anyway, so like I said, we got to keep going. Make those big plans, and don't be afraid, to give that little bit of a stretch. Oh, here we go. Oh, thank you, Samoan Watchman. I love it. I got to take a sip on that one. Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is deep. He told all the kids, forgive everyone. Don't let anyone be the reason why you lose your ticket to heaven. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Samoan. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful. Oh no. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Oh my. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh man. Samoan. Phew. It's crazy. Yep. Prayers for you, Samoan. Wow. I am speechless. Wow. This is a lot, guys. But we got to keep going. Got to keep going. Woo. Yes. I am with you. Well, thank you all so much for coming. I am just, woo, this has been a lot. It's really been a lot. And those were great words from Simone Watchman. He's amazing. I have so much love for him. And oh, Cynthia, she's awesome too. I mean, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. That is a lot. Yes. Yeah, you can forgive everybody, but let's see, hold on. Roberta, you can forgive everybody. You should, but you don't have to forget how they made you feel. Wow. That's crazy. That's what Monty's saying. Ooh. Yeah, it's like you have to forgive because the thing about it is you can really, it ruins the rest of your life. You know what I mean? If you don't forgive, and really like they say, forgiving is for you. It's not necessarily for the person, but it's just so that you can move on. And that's huge. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Everyone's saying goodbye. Oh, and then the hurricane. Man, I'm telling you, this just like I said, this has been a lot. I just can't even believe it. Wow. Yes. Let me see if I missed any of the comments here. Okay. Oh, here we go. Roberta said, whoops. I used to be very forgiving, but there are some you can forgive but never forget. Yeah, that's for sure. Man, this is deep. I'm telling you guys. Woo. It's crazy. Well, I guess on that note, so like I said, we got to keep going. We got to keep going. So listen, peace and love to everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the channel. And I hope that this left you with something to think about. And like I said, Walt Disney had a very interesting story. And I wanted to make sure that I followed up on that because that was something that I talked about a couple weeks ago. But I just needed time to kind of look it up and say, hey, this is what happened. I knew it was bad, but it was actually a little worse than I thought it was. So that's crazy. But woo, it's insane. All right. Well, listen, it's Motivation Monday. It's I bring it every day. Just want to say, have a good week. And we'll see you next week, God willing. And I'm hoping that I can just leave you with some positive things to start the week. All right. Thank you so much. Yes. I mean, I'll tell you, that's why like I'm almost in tears. It's crazy. She really has been through it. Yeah. And it's just terrible. Yeah. It's brutal. It's brutal. It just breaks my heart. But yes, you're welcome. So anyway, you guys have a good day. I think I'm just going to end it right here. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. And thanks for watching.